What I value about America is advice columns. What I value about America is my need for love. What I value about America is how talk about true love is often a cover for the fact that in order to be happy, people need a fulfilling web of human connections of which romantic love is really only one element. What I value about America is how friendship is not really an element of the American dream. What I value about America is that dividing life into work and leisure makes both unbearable. What I value about America is how stunning it is to be so lonely even when other people know and love me. What I value about America is all the ways to be inaccessible. What I value about America is the exorbitant cost of women's clothing. What I value about America is that after some years of the conservative training that became more common during the George Bush years, more and more young women in America say that having a baby is natural, by which they mean that they shouldn't use birth control. And so when they're having sex, they're more likely to get pregnant casually. And sooner or later, of course, the man runs off, whether they were married or not, makes no difference. And because of the idea that birth is a natural thing that happens to women, the women think it's their obligation to raise the child or children on their own, and they don't even go to court trying to get paternity payments. What I value about America is women who write well, or play music well, or paint well, or work well in politics, or community organizations, and who are making decisions to do what they want with their lives, either with men, or with women, or with whoever they want to be with. And I value the women who don't know they have these options, who are prevented by their families or their upbringing from having these options or knowing they have them. And I value the women who think they know what the options are when they don't. What I value about America is how many people think feminism should be over when they don't really know what it was or is. What I value about America is what it must have been like to be the only surrealist in Minnesota, and what it must be like now to be one of 4 or 5 of them. What I value about America is B.B. King singing "One Day, Day." What I value about America is how at Stonewall, blacks and whites, gays and lesbians, and the transgendered fought back against police who intended to beat them. What I value about America is that I'll never be in a situation like that, but I'll be in some other situation. What I value about America is when, on July 4th, the police arrest a drunken white man for shooting off fireworks on the sidewalk, and he shouts, "I love my country, I love my country," as they handcuff him and pin him to the pavement. What I value about America is the forgotten dead. What I value about America is that moment when it seems funny and the moment when it doesn't. What I value about America is laughing uncontrollably the moment I write, "It doesn't seem funny." What I value about America is flirtation. What I value about America is anything to keep me distracted so I don't have to feel myself dying. What I value about America is runaway children. What I value in America is being told at an afternoon barbecue that there are more wealthy people in China than there are middle-class people in the United States. What I value about America is that everyone, even in casual conversation, feels free to establish a point by quoting a study that nobody else has heard of and that may not exist. What I value about America is how health insurance companies do everything they can to charge you the maximum and pay you as little as possible and kick you out if you actually get ill and not allow you on if you ever have been ill at any time in a way that anybody officially noticed. What I value about America is that even though health insurance is a ripoff, it's much worse not to have it. What I value about America is companies who spy on employee email. What I value about America is so many different types of charts. What I value about America is the home credit crisis, with Bank of America and other corporations being sued by the San Diego government for fraudulent loan practices, with people who have lost their money and their houses and who, in abandoning their houses, break windows and crack swimming pools and strip walls and pour concrete down toilets. And I value the mosquito problem that has developed in those neighborhoods because of the standing water problems created by the ruined plumbing, as if the aftermath of the collision between the naive and overwhelming desire for the American dream home and abusive corporate practices is an infestation of insects. What I value about America is termite fumigation. What I value about America is cliches about America that make people feel comfortable at the same time saying nothing specific. And I value the way Americans often want to value America without valuing anything about America all that specifically. What I value about America is corporate sponsorship. What I value about America is Iggy Pop singing in the 1970 song No Fun. Maybe go out, maybe stay home, maybe call mom on the telephone. And that in America, boredom can be a function of privilege or a function of poverty, but either way, it empties the mind and soul a little at a time, so that many people eventually come to the conclusion that it's ridiculous to care too much about anything, because nothing you care about matters to anybody else. What I value about America is isolation. What I value about America is that whatever you think about America, someone in America or not in America might be dying right now because of what's going on in America or what somebody thinks about America. What I value about America is the struggle to wake up, to go to work, to try to help people or take people's money or protect people or protect yourself from people. What I value about America is not an abstraction, but a question I face every one of these too little, too big days that can be answered only by who and what I try to care about and who and what I don't care about. What I value about America is trying to figure out what matters and live a little with that every now and then, doing something about it or not doing something among all the other things I don't want to do but have to. What I value about America is the end of America and all the people who have imagined different ends for it, good or bad, and all the people who never want it to end. And I value the way that sooner or later all of us say goodbye to America and to all the people who think about the end of America or who have never thought about it. And I value about America that what matters most personally to me in the world, the people I've known, the animals I've known, and all the others I haven't known but who matter the most anyway, and that it would be possible to have them all matter even if there was no America, although I will never, even if it ends, be able to think about any of them without having the image of America stand in the way, even for a moment. Where the image is a Statue of Liberty's raised hand, or the Wounded Knee killing grounds, or rows of corporate buildings stranding grayly under Atlanta clouds, or protesters along Pennsylvania Avenue with signs suggesting that America could still be as wonderful as it might have been but never has. And I value the disappointment of that dream's loss and the need to find it somewhere other than America, or to insist that against all odds America might still live up to it, or even if not, might not so actively prevent it every time and everywhere it comes across it. What I value about America is the whole sick surge of desire for heaven on earth of the city on the hill, and all the lies that have been told and the people that have been killed in the name of that desire. That wanting heaven on earth makes it unclear whether you want justice or to kill or just to be dead. What I value about America is that here in Carlsbad, only a few hundred yards from my house, I stand on the crumbling small cliffs above the ocean and watch the vanishing mythic sun as it leaves America, dropping below the edge of the ocean while nearby other people stand, some who come every day to watch the sun leave America. And I know how this moment is the most cliched moment there is about California and the end of America, one that all sorts of people have had. And I know that I'm never more than one of them. And I know what else I think about it. Sometimes I don't understand it, but I never know what the others are thinking, the ones standing there. Although, of course, I could guess, and in some instance not be far wrong, their children, their car, the love they've always wanted but never had and are never going to. And we stand there a while, watching the sun go and looking at each other while trying not to be seen doing it, and wondering who else is here and what they might be thinking, and whether all of us here are finally alone with our thoughts and with what's left of the sun before it goes, just for today because it comes back tomorrow. Probably anyway, but who knows? And I value in America that once the sun is gone, people get in their cars and drive away, or, like me, walk away because they live so close. All of us going back to lives that have nothing to do with each other but are unthinkable without each other. And a few yards back from the cliff, I cross the coast highway at a crosswalk where the cars are supposed to stop for pedestrians, while a few don't until one makes the decision to slow, and others do too. And once on the other side of the highway, walking on Acacia Street, past the older little beach houses and the newer beach mansions, almost always closed and empty, owned as real estate ventures by people who never live in them and don't even rent them much. There are huge windows showing me my own reflection in the coast highway behind me. I feel lost like the last man on earth, and it's pleasant and unbearable and suspicious. And feeling it and not knowing what to do except to write it, I climb the stairs to my own darkened balcony, looking out at the low blue light above the leaf and twig-choked pool that no one cleans or uses. And there's enough twilight left in the shadows to allow me to find the lock on the door of the rented apartment where I live. Who knows for how much longer. Thank you very much.